Hey guys, it's Tom. I don't know what happened here, but I'm concerned that most of the first half was not recorded. I checked, I think early in the second quarter, and everything was fine. But we had halftime. This was continuing the Pittsburgh Tampa Bay game. We're still at halftime. And I clicked over onto my broadcast window, which you're looking at right now, and there was an error message there about not being able to complete the video call. I don't know if someone tried to join in and it didn't work or something. But it looks like we lost at least part of the second quarter. Maybe all of it. Maybe more. I don't know. Hopefully, so this will be in two parts. This is the second part. Hopefully this stays viable. Our time that we didn't miss any action for the second half. The score is tied at 14. So I guess after the game, I'll go back and see where that first part of the broadcast ended. But we got a 14-14 game. Pittsburgh kicks off to Tampa Bay to start the third quarter. Kick down to the 5, returned 16 yards by Patrick Chung out to the 21. Steelers Buccaneers. Winner makes the SOMIFA. Tim has not been there in a few years. Looking past Jim Dre, one linebacker there. 6 in the wide die, so he is cast aside for a 9-yard gain. Making it second down and $1 at their own 30. 1 minute in. 14-14. Winner makes Super Bowl. Both guys have been there before. Tim won the Autumn Win Championship and has made the SOMIFA Bowl a few years ago for the only time. He made this round last year. Ron's a 3-time SOMIFA Bowl champion. I think he lost at least one other one. Off tackle right to LaShawn McCoy. 10 on Shady's card is a big run. 21-yard gain. Shady with a nice 2, 10, 11, and 12. And otherwise some okay yardage. Sets up the Bucs for first down and 10 at the Pittsburgh 49. We're playing without animation. It's been better for the synchronicity. We've lost some plays otherwise. Long pass on Tony Brown double teamed. So receiver automatically incomplete. As Ron coming through with the double team on the 6. Would have been incomplete anyway. But still. Broadcast appears to be in business. Second and 10 Tampa Bay at the Pittsburgh 49. 2 tight ends, 2 wides, 1 running back. Shady McCoy. Off tackle draw to Shady. No linebackers there. 9 in his card is a 3-yard gain. Tim Bollier, the coach for the Buccaneers, plays with Robert Turbin Unlimited in the first half. So you're only going to see Turbin in special situations here by league rule. It's a way that we limit some of the backs who did not have over 100 carries. Third down and 7 for Tampa at the Pittsburgh 46. The offense is in the 2 tight, 2 wide, 1 running back. Defense stays in the base 3-4. An excellent secondary. Will Tim, his Turbin to the game on third down. You can always come in on third down. Short pass Victor Cruz, single coverage against a 5. 3 men in zone. Romo could use a big third down conversion here. And has not had one in a while, I don't think. Let's see what happens for Tony. And he gets a dump off, has to check down after being under a modicum of pressure. And he finds Robert Turbin for a 4-yard gain, setting up 4th and 3 the Pittsburgh 42. Tim will probably punt this. And it looks like he will. It's going to be the old coffin corner from Brian Anger Management. And that is a beautiful job as the punt goes 40 yards before being downed by a Buccaneer at the Pittsburgh 2-yard line. I think in the Buccaneers' opening round victory against Dallas, I'm not sure if that was the game where they were continually pinning the enemy inside his own 5-yard line. One of the SOMIFA playoff games had that going on. I've called a few. Missed one completely, missed most of another one due to some personal reasons. But I'm trying to catch all the rest of them, certainly. So, on 1st and 10 from his own 3, Ron throws a flat pass to Anquan Bolden. It's a 1-yard gain as Bruce Irvin makes a nice stop. He's only a 4 against the pass, so bad break for Ron there. You hate to see that when you're backed up in your own end zone. You need all the breaks you can get. Defense showing blitz, and the pass rush has been a problem for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers so far. Otherwise, the offense is moving well. Looking past Jeremy Hill, defense blitzing the free safety only. Receiver gets right as an 8-yard gain. Nice yardage for Hill. Doesn't have all the completions in the world. But look at that, +5, +8, +7, +4 in the middle of the card on his flat pass right. Sets up a big 3rd and 1. This is a huge play. You're on 11, 3rd and 1. 10:48 to go in the semifinal of the Super Bowl. 14-14, 2 very solid teams and coaches. That's a tough spot. Ryan Matthews checks in. Off tackle right, Ryan Matthews gets wrong. 7 is a short gain. That's first down yardage. A big 14-yard run by Matthews on his first action of the game. Would have been a -1 against right, but look, you got to against run, you got to against pass, you got to do both. So, you call some pass, you call some run. Sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. And Aaron Rodgers is the other team's quarterback, so maybe you want to get some pass. Can't blame anybody for that. And it's Strat. No one's going to run every 3rd and 1. Well, some guys do, but Enver right for James Starks as a linebacker in the zone. 8 of his car gets wrong as a 5-yard gain. And now you're seeing the Steelers sprinkle in their reserve running backs. Ryan Matthews, James Starks, mixing things up. Matthews checks back in. 2nd and 5, Pittsburgh at their own 30. Who's that middle linebacker 6 on Tampa Bay? Michael Kendricks. Ryan Matthews. No linebackers there. 3-yard. Matthews is a pretty good guess wrong card. Looks like he's not very good at work. Looks like he's got more solid yardage than there's a penalty. So 3rd down and 6 on fast right on the Steelers. So 3rd and 7, Pittsburgh at their own 28. Sometimes I don't know what happened, but the game does not show you certain plays. 3-3-5 blitz coming from the defense. Starks, I think, is a 0-0. He is a 0-0. He would have to pick up that safety under certain pass blocking situations. Rodgers has done very well with the short passing. Long pass, Anquan Bolden. Defense getting blitzed. Down goes Rodgers. Jeremiah Ratliff gets past Jonathan Goodwin and drops Rodgers to the turf for an 11-yard loss. That's at least the 3rd sack today for Tampa Bay. And it's 4th down and 18. That was not precipitated by the free safety blitz, just by the D. 4th and 18, Pittsburgh. They're going to punt, of course. Steve Weatherford punts one. It looks like about a 47-yard punt. Antonio Brown has been very big in the postseason for the Buccaneers, both this year and last year, with a touchdown punt return each season. Returns this one a mere 9 yards, but that's still a 5 return, setting up Tampa Bay at their own 45. They have great field position as a result of that sack, and you see +10, +9 long gain on the Pittsburgh opponent PR, so that can be a problem for them in the second half as well. Both teams capable of a good return or a great return as we play the rest of this game. Emerald right, LaShawn McCoy. Defense gets his run. Defensive end +1 or +5. Mike Daniels can't make the play. He might be a 6 next year. That's only a 5-yard gain. He's on one of my teams and graded that very well. You guessed it, PFF. Shady with 9 carries, 87 yards, 36 of that on what became a meaningless run before the half, but he could get in the end zone. Looking past Jim Dre, defense gets his run. +3 against one man in zone on a 6 on the defense's card. 3rd down and 2. These coaches coaching fast and furious. We're midway through the 3rd quarter. This game's less than an hour old, and it's a huge game. A lot of guys will take their time more in a playoff game, but the veteran coaches, these guys have been playing forever. I've been playing. I playing Tim since the computer game came out 15 years ago. I'm playing Ron probably at least 11 years, if not more, if not longer. Let's talk about Frank Summers in 32. That's probably not going to get the job done. Indeed, a -2 guess right. Maybe a little too much trickery there for the Tampa Bay's own good. Summers pretty good at raw. Maybe Tim's thinking of run key, but I think I'm going to take my chances with the other back. We have a 30-yard punt. There's a roughing the kicker penalty. Tim punted on 4th and 4. A coffin corner punt. His punter has a block on 12. Ron went for the block and was flagged. First down, Buccaneers at the Pittsburgh 44. I almost never go to the block for the block when it's 5 yards or under. Short pass Victor Cruz. He's double teamed by Tayshaun Gibson. Incomplete for Romo. The Steelers defense put to the test. Boy, Romo struggling. 9 of 18 for 60 yards. We have seen a lot of pass calls from Ron Martin's defense, And the running game is not well for Tampa Bay, but maybe that's partly part of why Romo is not doing as well, is because of the numerous pass calls. Still, 9 of 18 for 60 yards. Play action pass to Cruz. Incomplete. Romo's car gets wrong with 3 men in zone. My goodness, he only has 6 units of incomplete outside the interception. Only 8 units of incomplete. Very nice. Short pass, wrong column. And now there's a little bit of delay. Maybe Tim is kicking the dirt after that. With 3rd and 10 Tampa Bay at the Pittsburgh 44. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. We've largely seen like a double team or maybe like one blitz. That's would probably be Elvis Dumerville. He's covering Robert Turbin. Dumerville's a 12-8 asterisk. Turbin is a 4 pass blocking. Decent receiver. Tim might try to target Turbin with a flat pass, perhaps. You get a wrong reading, you get a first down that way. You just throw the ball. Short pass to Brent Selleck. He's covered by 5. 7 on Romo's caught complete, first down. Romo has not done that much on the 3rd and longs today. And that's a big 12 yards on a first down for Tampa Bay. At the Pittsburgh 32, they're in scoring range. The Steelers have turned the ball over 3 times and committed an egregious roughing the kicker penalty that pretty much like a 4th turnover. Linebacker Sean McCoy, no linebackers there, only 1 behind. 8 on the offense's card is a 5-yard gain. Makes it 2nd down and 5. A spectator has joined the game. I did not get the chance to put a new link up, obviously, for this second part of the broadcast, so he'll have to understand if he was trying to come into the broadcast. Could be Dennis Crowley. He likes to watch these games. And also scouting. He's in the other semifinal. 2nd and 5, Tampa at the Pittsburgh 27. 5 minutes to go. We have a 5-yard run by Shady McCoy and a personal foul on the defense. Half the distance to the goal line. 1st and 10, Tampa Bay at the Pittsburgh 11. 4:48 to go. Steelers thinking, Tampa Bay Buccaneers thinking touchdown after extending this drive via the roughing the kicker penalty. Don't know the penalty chart well enough to know, but I don't think Ron would have been flagged for the penalty if he didn't go for the block. Here's a handoff right to Shady. 7 in his card, no yards gets wrong. And again, there's that Shady, there's that problem. When you look at like that 4 through 9 on the off tackle wrong, -1, +2, 0 yards, 3 yards. You know, there's a couple of decent runs in there, but mostly not very appealing. Defense showing blitz. 2nd and 10 for Tampa Bay from the Pittsburgh 11. Score tied at 14. Off tackle draw to Shady. Defense gets the pass. 8 on Shady because the 5-yard gain. There's a fumble. Tampa Bay recovers it. Will they try to advance it? And it is just fallen on by offensive guard Chance Warmack. That was a 5.5 fumble chance out of 1,000. And Tim got the dreaded 1. That was a fumble. But offensive lineman Chance Warmack was Johnny on the spot. And his 3rd down. So that was huge. Let's see how huge it is. That fumble recovery worth 7 or is it worth 3? Well, worth nothing if we get a turnover or a missed field goal. Defense showing blitz, 3rd and 5, Tampa at the Pittsburgh 6. Short pass, Vernon Davis. Defense blitzing everybody, including the free safety. No bump because you're inside the 10, but there were extra men there, and the free safety blitz is certainly in effect. Tim does not have great pass blocking. You want to get Elvis Dumerville, and sure enough, Dumerville comes around the end, beats Warmack, who's maybe a little fatigued, having to bend over and roll around and get that fumble. And Dumerville with the big sack of Romo for 7 yards to force a field goal attempt. It'll be a 30-yard attempt for Josh Brown. Very fine kicker. And that is up and good. 2-10. 17-14 Bucks. 3 minutes to go. This is a barn burner with a lot at stake. Super Bowl berth. Tampa Bay looking for their 2nd Super Bowl appearance in franchise history. Ron Martin looking for yet another Super Bowl appearance, another championship. Tim won the Autumn Wind Championship last year, so this would be a nice twofer if you can get this one. But you got 18 minutes of football, and another game to play. He's going to deal with the 18 minutes first. He's not worried about the next week, that's for sure. And right, Jeremy Hill. And John Carlson makes the block. He's only a 4, but a 9-yard gain. Now, Ron's been running at that left-hand 0, and really hasn't hit anything good on Tim's card. He's good, 4 there, but but might have popped the plus 12 once. So he deserves getting something there. 9 carries, 39 yards for Jeremy Hill. So he's got plenty to go as we get close to the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 1 for Pittsburgh. Ryan Matthews, the running back. Defense showing blitz again. And it's a quick pass, so quick that I didn't even see the play call. But White dive 4. So Tim was blitzing. Ron beat the blitz for a 10-yard gain. And it's first down, Steelers at their own 39. Steelers have moved the ball beautifully today. I think we finally saw a punt in the third quarter. I don't remember. But they have 3 turnovers. So 17 of 26, 203 yards and a touchdown. Had an early interception. Flat pass right. Jeremy Hill was double teamed. And it's incomplete. That was a White eye 5, so it would have been a 3-yard gain. But instead, the incompletion. Of course, they've moved the ball beautifully. I bet they do nothing here. 2 plays in a row, then have to punt. The old "you said it, you jinxed me" roll. Off tackle draw, Jeremy Hill. Offensive onside tackle plus 8 plus 3. Joe Avon Barksdale is only a 5, so it's a 6 on the white die. Makes it only a 3-yard gain. 3rd and 7 for the Steelers and Rodgers at their own 42-yard line. 3 wide, 1 halfback shotgun formation. James Jones covered by 4 is the extra wide out versus defensive back matchup. It's Mike Mitchell, the safety, is the extra defensive back for the Steelers. Long pass, James Jones being double teamed. Now there's a 5-yard, can't get Tucker. 4th and 47. Will they go for it? He's going to punt it. Second time we're seeing Steve Weatherford, as they hope to at least take advantage of some good field position and, try and win that battle, because that's been going against them quite a bit here. And is a 36-yard punt, takes a Steeler bounce down inside the 10, and Tampa Bay will take over at their own 8-yard line. 18 seconds to go in the third quarter. Buccaneers leading 17-14. This is the first time since the first quarter, or since the first half certainly, that the Buccaneers have had the lead and the ball. That's where you want to be. LaShawn McCoy is doing a very fine job. He's the lone running back there. He's got, I think, 100 yards now. 1st and 10. Yeah, getting down to the nitty-gritty. Shady takes a handoff to the right, gains 7 yards. Chance Warmack with the key block. I think Tim got him in the second after he was a top 10 NFL pick because he had a bad rookie rating. And guards sometimes will slip like that. 2nd and 3, Tampa Bay, as we start the fourth quarter. Flat pass right, Jim Dre, linebacker 4 there, 12 minus 1. Defense guest pass. So that sets up a 3rd down and 4. Romo, 11 of 21%. Robert Turbin's the running back. The Turbin factor. Tim's, I think, has run here a few times. I think we'll see some sort of a pass. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a short pass to one of the wideouts. Or maybe a flat pass to Brett Selleck, who is unlikely to be double teamed, I think. If I was playing against Tim, that's what I would guess he was going to do. Off tackle, a Turbin to the right, saves the ground game. Defense gets his pass, no one there. And Turbin pops his card, 7, a big 16-yard run. Robert Turbin. Bucks, I get 2 yards. Of course. So Tim is within about 20 Robert Turbin yards. Making 18. Backs go over 100 yards. Yeah, he only leads by 3. And again, super fast result for the computer. Ended up with some kind of 5-yard penalty on Tampa Bay. So I don't know what that wiped out. We have 1st and 15 for the Bucks at their own. Broadcast seems to be going well. That's what happened in the first half. Off tackle draw for LaShawn McCoy to Cruz. Being double teamed, no linebackers there. Dwayne Brown, offensive onside tackle with a big block, plus 8 or plus 3. 8-yard gain sets up 2nd down and 7. Tampa Bay at their own 33. 13:30 to go in the game. Bucks leading 17-14. McCoy, 15 carries, 117 yards. Tim's impatient on the ground. Ron has still been stubborn, not really giving in and calling a run too much, especially in the second half, it seems like. I'm probably one of the worst culprits for that. Tim Bollier taking his time with this play call. And again, super fast results. I really apologize, folks. There's nothing I can do. I don't really know what happened. I can tell you because it's third down. I'll run one play with animation on if I can. Long pass to Victor Cruz. No one there. He's covered by 5. Defense calls pass, though. Intercepted 2-4. That's going to be incomplete on an 8 reading. And Tim's going to have to punt. So Darren Sproles, the excellent punt returner and all-around back, is back to receive the kick from Brian Anger Management. 4th and 8 for Tampa. They're on 32. Tampa, had an Antonio Brown touchdown last week, had one last year to help them get into this position. Could the tables be turned on them now with a Darren Sproles touchdown? 54-yard punt. That's going to be inside the 20. Sproles at about his own 14. He's going to try and catch it. Let's see what he does. So it would just touchdown, and he hits it. Darren Sproles rolls 3 on the punt return in the 4th quarter of the SOMIFA semifinal to return Brian Anger's punt 86 yards to the house for a touchdown to give the Steelers a 20-17-21 with the extra point lead over the Buccaneers. Oh, my goodness. As I say, I think this is my catchphrase. Vince, 21-17. If the kick is up being good, as a stunned sideline sits there and does not click. Someone's not clicking. It says Tampa Bay defensive formation. So Tim may be typing in a message. Let's see what he says. So we have no commercial break. There are no sponsors. If they are, I'd like to know where my share is. Tim says, I thought he was your number 1. Odd. I think Darren is an LP, actually. Yep. Ron types it in. LP returner. And why wouldn't, if you're an NFL team, why wouldn't you have Darren Sproles as your LP? Lone punt returner. Don't let anybody else get their hands on the rock. Give it a Sproles. I would not want to have to try to tackle the whirling derby. The fine career he's had. A little older now, but still getting the job done. 1st and 10. No 1st and 10. They're kicking off here. Okay. What Tim may have overlooked, Tim may have looked at. Ron says Ed had the foul wrong at the beginning of this. Maybe 2 backs. But Ron didn't have 2 backs. And we got a run back from Darren Sproles for a touchdown. Well, that can happen. But bottom line, legitimate touchdown. There is no further review. 21-17 Steelers. Tampa Bay with the ball now at their own 20 following a touchback. Tim keeps taking a second time. He took a touchback 1 yard deep because he doesn't want to risk a turnover to get an extra 4 or 5 yards. There's not that many for the extra yardage. 2 guys blitzing. Linebacker only a 4. Receiver gets right is a 12-yard gain. Those solid tight end cards. Flat pass right tends to have the 12-yard type of yardage on a 5 reading, but you got there. That's his 4th catch. He got 47 yards. Fine game of Selleck. We're almost still with only 83 yards passing. Tampa Bay may need to ground out this foot on the ground. Where else are you going to ground it out? They need to grind it out. O'Reilly, Sean McCoy, one linebacker there, 9 and Shady scored 3-yard gain. Second down and 7. He's got 16 carries, 120 yards. Still has 14 healthy carries. Tim's got like 34 rushing attempts so far, if I'm correct. And he needs a touchdown now. So, you know, it's going to be a little tougher. Could really use a big run on the card. 2nd and 7, Tampa Bay. Victor Cruz gets pass, double teaming Antonio Brown. Romo comes through with a 12-yard gain. That's probably right, wrong, and double teamed. Indeed, it is. 1st and 10, Tampa at their own 47. 10:48 to go. The Buccaneers looking to respond and advance to the championship game. 2 tight end formation. They've been running it a lot. Flat pass right, Jim Dre, single coverage. Linebackers a 4. Defense guesses pass. Intercepted 2-4, incomplete on Romo's card. Second time Tim's had the interception split. But it's only 2-4, so it's not like he should have gotten picked off. Just always a little nerve-wracking when you see the flat pass right split, especially when it's more than 2-3 and 12. Looking past Brent Selleck, nobody there. The blitz is being shown. So he wants something a defensive squad, and he gets it. 11 is a 13-yard completion. Romo reading the blitz, sitting Brent Selleck for a quick in over the middle. That was a wide die 6. So Ron would have had to keep both linebackers home, which has not been his want tonight. Buccaneers driving, trying to respond to the stunning Darren Sproles 86-yard return. And it's a flat pass for 3 yards and a completion to Selleck, who's got 6 catches for 63 yards. And Romo's over 100 yards passing now. 2nd and 7, Tampa. Tim Cullen plays quickly as if he's in the hurry-up offense in real life. 9:18 to go. He's unhappy with his special teams coverage. Off tackle right to LaShawn McCoy. One linebacker there. Pops that 8 on Shady's card for a 5-yard gain. We've seen that a few times. He'll certainly take that over the 5, 6, 7. You can make a living off of that. 3rd and 2. Tim's run the ball here. Frank Summers is in again. Tim goes pro set to give an extra threat of running. Summers is okay, guess wrong. But he was stuffed for a 2-yard loss on the last 3rd and short. So I don't think we'll see him again. Right now, maybe you get into a 4th and 1 or a 3rd and 1. But Brown, even gets the pass, shows a blitz. There's a free safety blitzing and at least one linebacker, probably Elvis Dumerville. It is Elvis Dumerville. Tim cannot get sacked here. 3rd and 2. And down goes Romo. Elvis Dumerville with his 2nd sack of the game. Clay Matthews brought the pressure from the other side, but Dumerville got responsibility, got credit for the sack. An 8-yard loss. It's a 4th and 10 Tampa at the Pittsburgh 40. 3rd and 2. Tim says he might guess front. He might defend the flats. I'm going to throw it down the field. Ron went off the aggressive blitz call, and he got it. 4th and 10. Brian Anger punts Coffin corner, and that's a touchback. So Pittsburgh takes over their own 20. 1st and 10. 8:06 to go. And they are right now in control of this game. 21-17. But all Tampa Bay needs is a touchdown to come back and reclaim the lead. So Ron wants to stay aggressive, try to score. This is not I'm going to be conservative and, run the clock and punt it. It's 2016. He needs to keep trying to score points, even though his defense has done a pretty solid job. Tim's got big play capability and a fine offense, and he's a good coach. So I think we're going to see Ron stay with, the same offense he's used all game. He has had to punt, I think, twice this half. So play action pass to Anquan Bolden. Defense, I guess, is wrong. Aaron Rodgers hits his card, 9 plus 16. First down, Pittsburgh at their own 36. Rodgers, 22 of 29. 224 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Tampa Bay's defense has done a nice job in the second half. They gave him the big punt return touchdown. That's on the special teams, not on the defense. Otherwise, Ron's been scoreless midway through the 4th quarter. 7:48 to go in this contest. Who's going to make the Super Bowl? Steelers or Buccaneers? 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. Defense showing blitz. James Starks, your running back. Flat pass left, Marcus Wheaton. There is a blitz. It's incomplete in Aaron Rodgers' card. There was a chance at a sack, 1-17. Ryan Wendell slowing down Jeremiah Rattler just enough. And our broadcast is still in business. I don't know what happened there before halftime. Maybe someone tried to join the broadcast and it didn't work out too well. But regardless, hopefully we didn't lose too much of that footage. if you will. 2nd and 10, Pittsburgh at their own 36. 7:30 to go now. Off tackle right, Jeremy Hill. No linebackers there. It is a 4-3 defense, though. 6 on the Hill's card is a 5-yard gain. Sets up a 3rd and 5 for Ron at his own 41. Now, this is very interesting. Does Ron run the ball again and then go for it on 4th and 1 or 2, up by 4 in his own territory, but near midfield? That might be the play. Doesn't seem to be his style. Things seem to be going his way, so you probably kick it deep when things are going your way. Trust your defense. Defense showing blitz again. Whenever we see the guy, you know, but when he's got this good secondary and your receivers aren't that great deep, I'm not sure that aggressive bomb there. Short bet John Carlson. Defense gets the pass. Aaron Rodgers throws over the middle, 3 men there. It's picked off 2 to 5, 11, 12. Picked off by Tampa Bay at their own 44. They're certainly going to try and get a return here. Someone's got to click something because I can't see nothing. And it's picked off by Rashad Jones, who runs it back 13 yards into Pittsburgh territory. That was a short pass, 3 men. Intercepted 2 to 5, 11, and 12. Split result was 5. So if Tim did not have the good pass cards, I think that would have been a completion. Because I think it's 2 to 4, 11, and 12. I think I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's 2 to 5. I don't remember on the average. I think it's 2 to 4, 11, and 12. So the home field advantage coming into play. The raucous Tampa Bay crowd making a lot of noise, and then maybe some miscommunication between Rodgers and the receiver in that play. Off tackle left, Shady McCoy. No linebackers there. Offensive onside tackle is an 8-yard gain, but there's a holding penalty on the Buccaneers. And instead of advancing down further into Pittsburgh territory and cracking the 40, they're back at their own 47 for a 1st and 20. Penalties helped them early. They've been hurting them late. Well, yeah. Well, they got the first down. That's right. They had it the other way around. I don't remember. Well, anyway, that penalty certainly hurt. 1st and 20 bucks at their own 47. 6:18 to go. And Tim's almost certainly going to run a McCoy here. Let's see if Ron has the balls to call it. No, flat pass right, Jim Dre was the good flat pass right card. Tim looking for that way to get 10, 11, 12 yards or better. He wants a receiver reading here, like a 5, 6, 7 type of deal. The linebacker there is a 6. Gets a 5 at Romo's card for a 4-yard completion. 2nd down at 16. Dre has not done much today. 4 catches for 15 yards. But the threat of Dre is present. 2nd and 16 bucks. Pittsburgh 49. Buccaneers trailing 21-17. They must score a touchdown to reclaim the lead. Now, they might go for a field goal under certain circumstances here. We'll see. It's tough when Pittsburgh has a good offense. But if Tim faces a 4th and 10 with 4 minutes to go, yeah, you can see him kicking it. And why wouldn't you, really? Looking past to Jim Dre, linebacker 6 there. Defense gets his pass, has 2 blitzes. There's a loose ball. Looks like Romo may have fumbled the snap here in a pivotal moment. And I think Pittsburgh has it. Tony Romo in the key spot. Fumbles a snap. A 4.5 number. And Tim had been like plus 4 in turnovers. And had the roughing the kicker penalty. And now he gets the fumbled snap. And the Steelers take over at midfield. What a killer. Looking past John Carlson is complete for 3 yards as Aaron Rodgers goes right to work. No time for pity in this broadcast because these guys are just clicking away. It is 2nd and 7 Steelers at the Tampa Bay 47. Oh, what a turn of events. Defense showing blitz. Ryan Matthews, a running back. He's been in and out of action here in the second half. An occasional James Starks. Still mostly Jeremy Hill, but I've seen a lot of Ryan Matthews this half. 5:06 to go. Pittsburgh leading 21-17. They have the ball at the Tampa Bay 47-yard line. And again, I hate this so much. I don't know what happened. Just a quick result. I'm going to guess an incomplete pass because it's 3rd and 7. And maybe a no-yard gain on the run. Rodgers is 23 or 32. I don't know what he was before that play. But regardless, it's 3rd and 7 for Pittsburgh. And now this play's taking a long time to unfold. So maybe we're stuck again, but no, we're not. 3 wide, 2 running backs, shotgun formation for the Steelers. At the Tampa Bay 47, 3rd and 7. 4:48 to go, leading by 4. This is a huge play. First down here is probably going to mean more points. It's certainly going to mean a couple more minutes off the clock. Yeah, Tampa Bay might even get, but a stop, and you'll see a punt for the Steelers, probably, unless you get to 4th and short. 3 wide, 2 running backs. Now, Tim's got, I thought there was a right tackle 0 for the pass rush, but it's a 5. Let's see an end run. A flat pass was incomplete to Marcus Wheaton on the receiver reading. So here's a punt. Pittsburgh going to punt it. Steve Weatherford yet again. Tampa Bay defense has done a very nice job in the second half after really struggling with Pittsburgh in the first half, except when they were getting the turnovers. So 4:30 to go. Coffin quarter punt, and it's a beauty. That ball goes out of bounds at the 5-yard line. So the Buccaneers, with 4:12 to go, with their SOMIFA Super Bowl hopes on the line, will take over 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. 21-7. They trail. They need to go 95 yards. Romo comes out, has to recover from the snap fumble that happened just moments ago at the 50-yard line when Tampa Bay was driving. Okay. Flat pass right, Jim Dre. There is a blitz from Clay Matthews. But again, Elvis Dumerville makes the play. We've had there's been an awful lot of linebacker in zone, +1 and +6 tonight, with 4s on both sides. Completions. 2nd and 9 from their own 6. Of course, the sack is very dangerous here. It's likely to be a safety, particularly on a short pass, certainly on a long pass. Draw play to LaShawn McCoy to the right. Defense move the linebacker, and Tibbetts, the 8 box of the defense is called 11 yards plus an extra 10 for the box. For the linebacker vacating his area, 21-yard gain. Shady McCoy, perhaps the player most identified with this franchise, even more than Romo. Because Shady's had these, great cards a couple of times. And, the running back cards are harder to come by, but he's got 18 carries for 146 yards. Coming through tonight as Tampa tried to make the world to the Super Bowl. Flat pass right to Jim Dre, and no linebackers there. Defense saw the blitz. Popped the zone. 11 on the defense is called 13-yard gain. Jim Dre all the way. Tampa Bay at their own 40. They're driving. Started at their own 5. 3 minutes to go. Bucs need a touchdown to take the lead. 21-17 Steelers. Tampa Bay, 1st and 10. Their own 40. 3 minutes to go. The Bucs getting through the end zone. They're driving down the field. Off tackle draw to Shady. Defense gets his run with the linebacker there. Shady loses a yard. So finally, Ron, that would have been 5 yards against right, but you cannot blame Tim for running these draw plays because Ron's been basically guessing pass, putting linebackers in there. It's been working in terms of from Tim's end. The draw plays have been working, but not that time. 2nd down at 11, 2:24 to go. Let's see if Tim runs it with Shady again. Maybe an run right. The pass rush has been a problem for both of these offenses. Neither one of these lines are loaded with 7s. Short pass Antonio Brown. 3 men there. No blitz coming on. Defender X or a long gain. But Brent Grimes is a 6. And you got a white die 6. So you know what you got? You got nothing. Defender X or a long gain. Brent Grimes, a diminutive corner for the Miami Dolphins. Very feisty. His wife a little excessive with the tweeting. Some angry things about the Dolphins organization and one Ryan Tannehill. But we're not here to talk about her today. That was a great play by Brent Grimes. What a long gain. Jeez, 3rd and 11. Of course, he's a 6. There's just no chance of it. 3rd and 11 for Tampa Bay. 2:06 to go. Flat pass right. But the guys are coming by 5s, and Antonio Brown's your best receiver. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with throwing to Antonio Brown regular there. Flat pass right, 3rd and 11 to Jimmy Dre. Receiver gets right, 6, 11 yards. There's the ringer card coming through. 2, 5, 6, and 10 were first downs, and even 7 was a 9-yard completion. And Tim finally got the nice receiver reading he's been looking for as Dre has 7 catches for 40 yards. And we're at the 2-minute warning, and we're at midfield. From the 50-yard line, Tim Bolyer's Buccaneers need 50 yards to get in the end zone, win this game, and make the Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's Ron Martin's Steelers with one more chance of glory. While my team is 6 and 10. Let's see what happens here. Off tackle right, LaShawn McCoy. No linebackers there. Shady's been the man, and he pops that 8 plus 5. He is living off that 8. My goodness, he's gotten that at least 5 times, it feels like. and it could be more. 20 carries, 150 yards for the former Eagle running back. Feels weird to say. He's on the Buffalo Bills now, as we know. Team goes hurry-up offense, keeping the running game alive, keeping the defense in that 3-4. He's in a 2nd and 5 at the Pittsburgh 45. We all know he wants to run it, but will he? Maybe the end run right could be a good time for that. Ron's been blitzing off tackle. Long pass, Antonio Brown. Nobody there, but he's coming by 6. Defense against his right. Defender X a long gain. Brent Grimes commits no crimes. He breaks that one up again. And hey, nothing wrong with the shot there. Maybe the guy's going to call run. You know, shady T, dangerous. You've been throwing flats. So that was I think it was a good gamble by Tim there. A good time to try and take that deep shot. Now, this is interesting. 3rd and 5. I love the cat and mouse in these situations. 90 seconds to go. 3 timeouts, 3rd and 5. We all know he's going to go for it on 4th down if he doesn't get it here. So we're all thinking, oh, he might run the ball here so he can break containment of 4th down. Flat pass, left hand Selleck. Defense gets the pass. There's a 5 there. Defender X +2 or +8. That's a 1st down, but personal foul on the Steelers. A late hit on Romo. Is that Clayton Matthews, perhaps, or Elvis Dumerville, who hit Romo late? Oh, they protect the quarterback so much nowadays. Was that a questionable personal foul? We'll never know. But the 8-yard gain to Selleck stands for 1st down, and bang, it turns into a 23-yard gain. Tampa Bay is at the Pittsburgh 22. They have all 3 timeouts. 1st and $10, touchdown to take the lead. And then the Steelers are going to get a chance at the ball back, maybe, depending how long it takes here. Looking past Antonio Brown. Defense gets his run. There's a linebacker 5 there, and it's an 8-yard pickup from Romo to Brown. Tim's not going to hurry up. He's not going to call timeout here either. He'll let this clock run down, and the defense calls timeout. Ron calls timeout. What a cat and mouse with the clock management. Andy Reid needs to pay attention to what these guys are doing. 2nd and 2, Buccaneers at the Steelers 14, 1:15 to go. Bucs have all 3 timeouts. They don't want them. They want to score with 8 seconds left to do a squib kick. 2nd and 2, Tampa at the Pittsburgh 14, trailing 21-17. Winning makes Super Bowl. Short pass, Antonio Brown. Single coverage against Brent Grimes again. 6 on Romo's card. Complete, 10 yards to the 1st down. Tampa Bay, 1st and goal at the Pittsburgh 4. The hopes and dreams of Buccaneer Nation. Tim is one of those guys. Been around. Had some real fine clubs. Had success elsewhere. Made the Super Bowl. Made the Final Four last year. He wants that championship. Full house back. McCoy and Turbin, and of course, Frank Summers, the fullback. There's no way Tim's going to pass here. Risk interception? I know it's still in the average, but I say he runs it with one of these 3 guys. Off tackle right, LaShawn McCoy. A linebacker there. Defense gets the pass. Miss Shady McCoy, who else? Pops into the end zone. Touchdown Buccaneers. 23-21. McCoy, 154 yards to the touchdown. This time, Tim says, you know what? I'll take the extra point. I've had enough excitement for one evening. It is up and good. 24-21 Tampa Bay. 52 seconds left. Ron Martin needs a field goal to tie, a touchdown to win. The kick is 8 yards deep in the end zone. That's going to be a touchback because Marcus Wheaton is not exactly a Cordell Patterson back there. As we wait. Yeah, he takes a touchback, which also preserves time on the clock. Guys don't always think about that. 52 seconds left for the Steelers at their own 20. They're down by a field goal. Aaron Rodgers has got 2 timeouts. The kicker, Nick Folk. I have a feeling I'm going to miss a good play by doing this, but I'm going to look anyway. Because it's pretty important. Offense goes 3 wide. 3 wide, 2 running backs. They can still run the ball. 33-38, he's 2-6. He's 2-8 right before that. Off tackle draw, Jeremy Hill. Offensive onside tackle +8 or +3. He's only 3 yards. Everyone reduced by 1. And now he's got to use a timeout or something. So I know he's trying to pop that 11 long gain or that 12 +85 at Jeremy Hill's card, but boy, the clock is not your friend here. I don't know about that inside run. 2nd and 7 for Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. They're on 23. 45 seconds left. They need at least 39 yards to get the field goal range. And we're right to Jeremy Hill this time. At the 0, offensive onside end plus 2 minus 1 loses a yard, as this is not a run blocking formation. And it doesn't look like Hill got out of bounds. Ron has to call his last timeout. Jesus. 3rd and 8 for Pittsburgh at their own 22. No timeouts. And Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, we all know, I don't think he's very good at Hail Marys. I'm not sure. Let me check my highlights this NFL season. It turns out he's very good at it. Let's see what happens. 3rd and 8, Pittsburgh at their own 22. 37 seconds to go. 3 wide, 1 halfback. Time to throw the ball. Jeremy Hill, 13 carries, 49 yards. Defense goes dime, 3-2-6. Time for the dime. Oh, this is what it's all about. Getting down to the nitty-gritty, the crunch time. The seasoned Strat coaches with strong teams. Short pass, John Carlson. Tip stays in a dime. Defender X, Rashad Jones is a 5. He makes the play. And Pittsburgh's have one more chance at a first down here. Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going back to the Super Bowl for the first time in about 4 or 5 years, I think. I don't remember exactly when, but it's 4th and 8 now. Ron has to have this one. Tim again in the dime, 3-2-6. Last time he just stood around. With no timeouts, that's probably a good play. Ron can't throw. Look, there's no timeouts left. Got to throw it down the field or to the sideline. You got to do a short pass, Ron. Ron can't hear me, of course, and he knows what he's doing, so maybe I should be quiet. Not my forte. Short pass, Anquan Bolton. He's double teamed. Aaron Rodgers card incomplete on the double team, and that's going to do it on 4th down and 8. Aaron Rodgers could not find a double team to Anquan Bolton. Would have been complete to anybody else. So Tim picked out the right guy to double. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, behind 4 Pittsburgh turnovers, overcome an 86 and the power of running of LaShawn McCoy and Robert Turbin, overcome an 86-yard fourth quarter punt return by Darren Sproles, launched 95 yards in the final 4 minutes. It's a hit pay dirt behind LaShawn McCoy, who had over 150 yards rushing. And they defeat the mighty Pittsburgh Steelers 24-21. Tampa Bay was home and had a better record, but the Steelers, have been a tremendous franchise of great success. And the Bucs are back in the bowl, back in the Super Bowl for the first time in many years. What a game this was. Boy, you talk about strong coaching and strong teams, well put together, knowing their strengths and weaknesses, not being too conservative, Tim being patient with the ground game. Just very fine. Very fine. Very fine coaching, very good game to watch. Strat Football, where else do you get this? Where else is Strat manages every single play that you call matter? Yeah, you get the leagues of baseball games, you get the relievers of the pinch hitters, but I'm talking every single play all game long. And what you do as such a result of what happened with the dice here. Wow. I hope I didn't miss too much of the first half on that truncated broadcast. We'll find out. As I tend to some video maneuvering to post this stuff properly on YouTube and whatnot. Tampa Bay outgained Pittsburgh 387-290. That final drive accounting for a lot of that. The Bucs had 35 carries for 236 yards of offense. Wow. Now, Ron had 4 turnovers, Tim had 1. And Ron was called for a roughing the kick that gave Tim another first down. That's like another turnover. So Ron was -3 in proper turnovers. You can almost get to -4 because of the roughing the kicker penalty, but then he got the punt return touchdown. So how do you weigh all those things? Say one thing you can say. This game was pretty cool. It was a close game. Once Nick Folk kicked the field goal in the second quarter, make it 11-6. But especially Ron scored a touchdown before halftime. At the 2-minute warning, just tied at 14. And from that point on, I mean, it was just tooth and nail. 17-14 Bucks late third quarter. 21-17 Steelers early fourth quarter on the Sproles punt return for a touchdown. Then with 4:12 to go, Tim Bollier marches the length of the field, 95 yards. Behind a lot of running. Clutch flat pass receiver to Jim Dre. And a press that brought him down to the 22-yard line. And he gets the victory, 24-21. Back in the Super Bowl. This is a big one. Everyone wants that SOMIFA championship. Tim won Autumn win last year. That's another big one. So we'll see if we can add this one to it. He's going to take on the winner of this week's Green Bay-Seattle game. That'll be Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. I'll be calling that game live via Google Hangout. As the upstart Packers, 9-7, upended the 15-1 Chargers, and now they're taking on the 12-4, 13-3. I don't remember. Seattle Seahawks. Dennis is actually trying to make it to his first SOMIFA Bowl. Talk about the coaching of this league. Dennis had a lot of good teams. He's a great coach. He wins championships routinely in like every league he's in. He hasn't even made the championship game in this league yet. He's going to try and rectify that this week. But I believe we will have a first-time SOMIFA Bowl champion this year. Ron Martin, I believe, was the only former SOMIFA Bowl winner in the Final Four. So it's going to be Tim Bollier, Dennis Crowley over Ron Dickinson. Last year, Zeb was a first-time winner, another good long-term coach who was a perennial playoff participant. And that's the background of the coaches remaining here, especially Tim and Dennis. Ron's been rebuilding for a few years. So let's see what happens on Thursday. And then, boy, we're so close to the end of the SOMIFA season. And the NFL season. These things are like very close to each other. So that's great. I mean, this is such a great league. So well run. So this is Tom signing off. Congratulations to Tim and Ron. They played a great game. It was a lot of fun to watch, a lot of fun to call. And now it's time for some late night dinner. And I took a nap earlier, so I might play some League of Legends tonight for a few hours, then I'll crash. But you'll see me Thursday afternoon. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. This is Tom signing off. Bye-bye.